Well, it seems to me that Sean and Mandy they've got the facts. They know what they're talking about. Because they certainly have Wendy and Randy pegged. Sean is truthfully Trish's ex-husband who went on the show with Wendy, Dr. Phil. And Mandy's his new wife. And I'm sitting there listening to this guy, and he's spitting it out just like I see it. And I've been around for a while, and I know how they act. But they're sitting there calling him an idiot, a moron, making fun of his hair, making fun of his hands. Why? Because he's spitting out the facts that most of us know. How they play ignorant, how the boo-hooing, how they can't recognize a snake in their own grasp, but they can sit and talk about everybody else. So I thought I'd upload it. You guys can sub to ATX&HAWK. It seems like they know a little bit about what's going on. But go ahead and sub up to ATX&HAWK and have a listen. It sounds to me like they know exactly what they're talking about. And I've been in this community for a long time. They can say I'm not in it, but I am in it. They could try to say I'm not in it, but I'm in it. You know, I collect, I gather, and I speak up when it needs to be spoke up. But again, that's ATX&HAWK. Sub up to them.
That this is going on.
Well, and
it never fails. It never fails. She's always, I didn't know. Randy never knew.
Randy and first of all, everyone's been around long enough to know. I mean, you can go throughout the history. You know, like Randy didn't know anything about Suboxone with B, and B's gone. They were like sisters. And then you had the Diane thing. Randy's like, I didn't know. And, you know, she kept hanging out with Diane and letting Diane on until Savage finally said, enough. And, you know, y'all remember that. And it's over and over again with her. And the people that are in the DC know Randy for who she is. She's always getting punked, and she's always claiming ignorance. I was upset a little bit when Mandy went on Randy's panel and, you know, held her own on Randy's panel that there wasn't more support from the other platforms. We're not here nor there with that anymore. They make it right in their own way. They don't need to get involved in our stuff. But it was like, how are you guys going to let what Randy's saying fly? Well, the sin thing was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Everybody's sitting around, because here's the deal. We all knew Sin was kind of a weirdo, you know, but she's okay. You know, she didn't hurt anybody. She just is very kind of crazy, maybe, which is perfect. But Randy held her close in her platform like she's some kind of sister to her and all that. And then so when whatever happened, she literally executed Sin on a live stream. Now, when you have a friend that is that good to you or that close to you.
I can't, Jocelyn. I see you.
You don't do a live stream when you have a fallout of that magnitude. Wendy and Randy are both crying about it. Now, here's the deal. We all knew who Sin was, but the manner in which they discarded her and then insult their own platform and their followers with the live stream that they had, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm. They discarded her because she split. She discarded them because she was outed. But they had to discard her because she split.
And that's what Yaba called out. She was like, these two were acting like they were crying about it.
Yeah.
That this was just this travesty. And the thing about it was, it'd been okay for them just to come on their live stream and go, yeah, Sin, you know how she was. She was really close to us. It's just we had a falling out. You know, Mandy, the same way when she loses friends. It matters. You don't go on a live stream and drag them and cry and implore.
What was the quote of the night from that? I don't want to sound upset.
I didn't want to go live about this, she said.
But we're live.
And you got, yeah.
Hey,
Wendy's on there. Wendy says, I don't want to seem like she heard it 30 seconds ago.
And kind of what happened was they were trying to track down a troll.
Right.
And once it went back and back and back, it turned out it was Sin.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where it all, and then she's like, well, people demanded a response. This is the problem with you, Randy. You don't have to do what everybody tells you to do.
People weren't demanding a response. We didn't know there was anything going on in the background because friends don't disclose that.
It was her views. And then when you addressed it again, you had your super
That's
chat
our
on.
content.
And you had, and Sin wasn't dropping your PayPal because she obviously wasn't there, but you had someone else drop your PayPal. So you're still talking about your friend who apparently has some very serious issues. And once again, you're making PayPals and super chats off of it.
And
that's
Wendy,
your
Wendy
hustle.
is gaslighting the whole time, going, does she really hate herself that much? I mean, what could be so bad, Sin, that you do this? Do you really? It's like, Wendy, shut up.
And Sin, if you're watching, I know you don't like me, and I know what. Do not go back for that.
Yeah, don't.
I don't understand why Wendy keeps going back every time that something happens. Like when she said, when the famous quote recently, where she said, "You bail on me, you're fucked."
You're talking about Randy,
right? But what I'm saying, Wendy keeps going back for more, and she keeps being.
Did you guys hear that? Wendy V's got a good channel if you want to see stuff about where. Randy and Wendy they weren't jiving real well, and then so I actually did in my vlog.
Wendy got upset about a guest.
Wendy got upset.
That she
she
didn't know
clearly
about.
wasn't doing real well mentally too. She had to take a break, and Randy got all bent out of shape and went after Wendy.
And Sin jumped up,
me.
But then Sin jumped up to kind of break the thing because Wendy jumped off and Randy was like, "You bail on me, you're fucked."
Yeah.
And so Sin
Did
comes
you guys
on.
hear that?
Sin comes on, and then Randy pops off again, and Sin goes, "Randy."
Yeah.
And now Sin's been tossed over.
So really, I think it boils down to
Presley, hey. I see all
rift.
of you. I know we kind of got started. Hey, Sherry, I see you. Camps, it's good to see you. Stitching, Moxie. Hey.
A rift between,
Hope.
I guess, Sandy and Wendy. But see, guys, this is what my whole deal was. Randy and Wendy. There was
combined Sin.
No, but there was a rift. I believe this is my take there was friction between Wendy and Sin. I believe that's been going on.
There's a little bit of a sense of it for sure. Yeah.
So, but the bottom line is that's not good content. And my thing about shouting out Yab a little bit is that she's got a much bigger platform, and you remember how much Sam had to gas up Randy after Mandy was on Randy's panel, like she drugged Mandy. They had to have it that way. She was trying to gas up Randy. Yab is over there going, Randy is a freaking noodle. She is a moron. And finally, her comments came out about it. You can go through Wendy V and listen to Yaba's comments about the whole Sin and Randy thing. It's ridiculous, and I personally, because I have this one's back, I was happy to hear somebody else just call Randy out for her ridiculousness.
That's kind of what my point. I was like, my point, Randy, is just don't quit acting like you're naive and ignorant to everything that goes on. That when it comes to you're not.
Every once in a while, you have to leave your own platform and take a look to the left and right. If your hug box is so canalized where you just look at your channel the whole time, then you don't get a sense of how ridiculous you start to sound.
Yeah.
And in this case, I feel genuinely bad for Sin. I didn't before because she's said the things that she said and acted the way she has acted, but I think she truly cared about Randy, and Randy and Wendy unmercilessly buried her in that stream and acted like they were truly surprised and they faked cried.
Yeah.
They faked cried on their stream. Well, and it was just ridiculous.
If y'all remember another OG, Bam, she hung out with B. She was in the drama community for a while. It's Bam's World. She has done a couple streams. She doesn't stream a lot, but she did to tell her side of it. And she's saying, Randy, you knew about it. You knew she lied about B. You knew that B thought she was going to a Def Leppard concert. You knew that B had gone and gotten ready for it. You knew that Sin lied to her. It never happened. You knew what she was capable of.
What Bam was saying is what you're doing is ridiculous because number one, you don't do that to a friend. But number two, you knew how she was.
Have a good night, Mama Ricky.
We have friends and we know how they are. We know how they are, and they get in beefs with other people, but we know. We couldn't come on here and all of a sudden act like we were so surprised when certain people act that way. I
miss B too. No matter what, she's probably one of the smartest of us.
Yeah.
When she went, fuck this, fuck y'all.
Yep.
And whatever her faults or her involvement in things were, she said, this isn't good for me. And she left.
And she left. And she's been gone. And I think she communicates with people not on this platform, but she maintains
Hey,
her friends
yoga.
and she talks about it. But
Have a good night, Mama Ricky.
I think it was about time that because Randy gets more and more ridiculous, and
He's gonna say hi real quick, and then
Yeah.
we'll go back to our
so there's that.
regularly scheduled program. Sawyer, say hello.